Okay, Dr. RJB here, and I wanted to talk about warming up before exercise. Now, many times you'll see the person who is stretching, touching their toes to do a warm up before they go out and exercise. They'll be stretching their arms, stretching their back, whatever it is. These static exercises, though, are not the best. And a matter of fact, when they have looked at static exercise, which are just the stretches that you hold for a period of time, they have found it doesn't help reduce injury. So what does? Warming up helps. And the warm-up should include active exercise or ballistic exercise. Now, if you ever watched the NFL, and you watched the Cowboys, they had a quarterback called Dak Prescott. If you ever watched the pregame show, they always showed Dak Prescott on the sidelines doing his little skips and jumps and movements to try to warm up his body. He would do a twisting motion with his body to mimic his throw, his quarterback throw. He would do skips and hops to warm up his legs because he might have to run. So those movements are called plyometrics, and that's an active stretch. He was basically putting his body through motions so that he got the muscles all warmed up. He kind of stretched everything out by doing active motions. And they have shown that plyometrics does seem to improve things and reduce injuries. Now, I'm a runner, and when I go out to go for a jog, I always do some plyometric stretches before I start running. I want to do little things to kind of like warm up my legs, get my legs stretched out. You could just kind of like swing your arm like this to warm up the arm for swimming instead of just pulling your arm statically. So you could do a motion like this. I'm using my arm because that's all you can see. I can't really see my legs. But if you do like swimming type motions, get your arms ready, stretch out your shoulders. That's a good warm up for swimming. And likewise, you can swing your legs back and forth for running, doing things like that, the twisting motion that Dak Prescott was doing to warm up your waist, because many of these exercises require you to turn your hips. So warming up different parts of the body like that works out well. The weightlifters who have been doing weightlifting for quite a while will do warm-ups also. And so they'll talk about the fact that they do their first set at a reduced weight. So let's just say they're going to lift 300 pounds on a squat on their back. They're not going to start out with 300 pounds. They might start out with something really easy like 100 pounds and just go through the motions even though it's a lightweight for them. And then the next set, maybe it's 150 pounds or maybe it's 200 pounds. And they warm up with these lighter exercises to get their body ready for the strain of the 300 pounds. So that once they do the 300 pounds, they're not going to injure themselves or strain their body because they've already warmed up the body with the other exercises. Now, of course, this does increase the amount of time that you're doing weightlifting. But, if you're a power lifter and all you're really going to be doing is 3 exercises, the squat, the deadlift, and the bench press, you could probably do that in about 5 minutes. So doing the extra sets is a good thing to kind of warm up the body and get it ready. And then you can do your challenge or your work set last before moving on to another exercise. Okay, so these are ways of warming up the body so that you reduce the risk of straining the muscles or injuring your muscles. Now, I should say that one of the ways I recently injured myself was by doing a plyometric, which was a little bit too dynamic for this old body. What I was doing was hopping, and I was doing a forceful hop, and what wound up doing was pulling a muscle. So you do have to use some judgment with this and try to keep within your abilities, and not try to overdo the warm-up, because you're not trying to compete with yourself. You're just trying to warm up. The whole idea is that you don't want to pull a muscle because your muscles are cold and not ready to work yet. So you don't want the warm-up to be too dynamic that it's going to pull the muscle too. Okay, so that's a little bit about warm-up for exercise, and it's something to think about if you do exercise on a regular basis so that you don't hurt yourself.